All right. Well, welcome to Happy Hour with Ruth
and Roxy. Nice to see you guys.
It is nice to see everybody. And we're back on an episode a week, and we're going to try to keep this one to no more than 35 minutes. And so we'll see how we do. It's a pretty big topic, though. Hey?
It is a big topic. And even the change, this is Roxy, who doesn't do well with change. I'm like, 2 episodes at one time? Wait, then I have to separate them when I edit. Can I do that, brain? Can I do that? I don't know. We'll see.
We can start over. we can stop it and run and change our clothes and then come back.
True.
So she's had a week. She's been grandchild minding and driving and helping in-laws buy cars and all. She's had all the things this week, man.
I've always had a week, though. I can create drama out of walking downstairs, probably because I fell down and broke my head. But it's just like
recently.
No. I'm just saying I could do that because
you could do that.
I live for the drama. I know that.
Well,
how to tell a good story, hyperbolize everying.
Here, I was going to say you are a fiction writer for for some of your career, but well, let's just tell everybody what we're talking about, and it's kind of a run on from the Finding Joy.
Oh wait, first of all, we have to talk about what we're drinking. This is Happy Hour.
Okay. Well, I was going to tell them about the really good title we have, but let's do that.
Okay.
I just want to say the words.
Okay.
No, that's okay. Let's tell them what we're drinking.
Well, I'm cold today, so I was actually looking for Guinness because that feels warming, but I didn't have any Guinness. So instead, I am drinking. Where's my camera?
Right. Moody
Ales Co, a Vienna amber lager, which is really delicious, actually.
Oh, that's a good
one. And it's very relatively close to where we're moving. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's good. So you're finding loyalties.
Buy local
in your new place. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm drinking red wine, and I was going to drink beer, and partly because I'm cold, because it's been pouring, like so pouring. We've only let the dogs out back. We haven't even walked because it's like that pouring. But I was going to drink beer, and we still have the Heineken cake from when you were here, Roxanne. So I was hoping it was still bubbly. So it's not so bad, but it
lasts remarkably long.
It did taste a bit flat to me, I have to say, but also it felt cold. So I got red wine, and this is just an Italian table wine that's a Sangiovese.
Okay.
Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I'm going to have to learn how to say it. Anyway, it's good. It's a nice, and I'm going to sip it because too many glasses of red wine gives me a headache.
Oh, red wine can be deadly. Yeah. I much prefer the flavor of a nice big bold red.
Yeah.
But the tannins do not do well with my head either, so I have to be cautious with that. And that's pretty common, I think.
Me neither. That's just it. It's I really like it. I just have to everything in moderation.
Yeah. Right? I don't like everything in moderation. I like a lot of things in huge amounts.
Well, it used to be when I was, much younger and could go out and then go to work the next day and be fine. It used to be anything worth doing is worth overdoing. But I have shifted that mantra to everything in moderation because I'm actually going tomorrow to a thing. Paul has a friend that he's known forever out here, and she and I have become friends, and she invited me to go at a pub in Nanaimo. It's called Mermaid Art. And what they do is they take a wine glass and they put it on you paint your canvas, and then they put a wine glass on it, and you decorate with seashells and sparkles. And so I will for sure take pictures tomorrow so we can put them in. But wow. If I'm going to go do art, I at least have to have my wits about me because, and I know it doesn't have to be beautiful, but I'd like for it not to be too embarrassing.
Yeah.
I
hear that. That sounds like so much fun.
I was thinking I was going to try to get you to come over on the ferry in the morning, but I didn't think that was going to happen because, you've had a busy week.
Yeah.
But we'll find something next time you're over here for a couple of days.
I have been on the road just way too much lately. Yeah. I'm so over it.
But... Yeah. Well, let's get into, because I think this is there's going to be some heaviness to this topic, I think. And a lot of it comes from, I have to say, it's been a bit of a challenging week with what happened in Minnesota and the shooting, the death. I mean, it's to me, it sure looked like a murder of Reneé Nicole Good, who was shot by point blank range by an ICE agent when she was just trying to drive away from, they're yelling at her, right? I mean, we've all seen it, like on Threads, and I've been back to Threads because there's a lot of really good humans that are compassionate and caring over there, and I'm finding Facebook is really trying to pit us against each other.
Yeah.
But like people over there are like coming in from all over the world, and it's like, I'm from Italy. I saw the video. I saw what happened. I saw murder, right? Like people are weighing in on it. Everybody's seen the video, and this 37-year-old woman is gone, right? And there appears to be, from the administration, no accountability. And like I couldn't, the night it happened, I couldn't sleep, and I just kept running through my head. And there was a part of it that was like, how are we ever going to do happy hours?
I know.
This feels like they've gone off the cliff.
Yeah.
And the guy, he ran away and got in a car and went away. And now apparently the US government has put him into hiding.
What?
Right? I just saw that go by, and it's like, I need to check on it. But it's like, I guess because of what he did, he and his family are getting threats. And I mean, threats are never good, but you also understand how it can happen when he's not being held accountable.
Yeah.
Right?
He shouldn't be put into hiding. He should be arrested.
But that's just it. And it really hit me. And then it's interesting because I took what I was thinking down to a community level. And you and I attended a meeting earlier this week that was kind of interesting because it brought up a few things around what this theme is. And basically the theme, it's, it's one central thesis, and it's not complicated. It's just don't be a shithead. And
that seems like such common sense, doesn't it? Don't be a shithead.
Common sense is not common, is it?
When I was growing up, this was the do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right?
Yeah. I think some of the things that are written in the Bible, which we have no idea who actually wrote it or what it means or any of, you know what I mean, is like there's some stuff in there that makes sense. It's like, don't be a shithead.
But you know what? There's a lot in there that makes sense. And it's the same stuff in Christianity that makes sense in Buddhism or in Islam.
Right. And it's about being kind to each other.
That's what it is.
It's do unto others.
Be kind. Yeah. Be kind. Be a good person. Be as aware of others. I mean, this is biblical. It's love others
your neighbor,
as you love yourself.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, that was sort of the emphasis was more on loving others. But in actual fact, the scripture is love others as you love yourself, which means we have to love ourselves.
Right.
We have to take care of ourselves. We do self-care and we do other care. It's not one gets sacrificed for the other.
Right.
Caring for ourselves looks like a lot of different things, but I don't think you can care for others if you haven't cared for yourself.
That kind of goes back, and I've seen a lot of this on social media from very thoughtful people, and the don't be a shithead applies to the person and to the people that are ICE officers, although apparently they were way out of their mandate with what they were doing. But it's a much bigger thing. So what people were saying is that she was really calm and cool about it. She was like, hey, dude, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at, that kind of thing. And he still shot her.
Yep.
Right. And her last words were, hey, dude, I'm not mad at you. It's, it's okay. And his last words were, fuck you, bitch.
And that was
something
after
like that. He had shot her.
He killed her already. And then he walked away and said, fucking bitch.
Yep. So tell me that this is a person who deep down doesn't have some self-esteem. Here's somebody who a calm woman set him off so badly, he shot her in the face. Right. And think about any of this. Like Paul and I, when we walk, sometimes I have to say to him, please don't walk right behind me. It puts my limbic system into frenzy. Right. And I know it's him.
Yep.
Right. My mind knows it's him. My stress level, and so imagine this woman, she sees him coming at her. He's got his gun and his phone out. So tell me he's focused on anything, a proper procedure. But he comes out and he's screaming, and you can hear one of them screaming at her to get out of the way. The other one's telling her to get out of the car, and somebody else is screaming something else.
Yeah.
So this woman who remains calm, right? Somehow that set him off, it feels like, right? A calm, strong woman.
Yeah.
Right. And like, that's just like, I don't know I don't know how America comes back from this. And I hope they
Yeah.
do. I just don't understand unless there's big accountability throughout. And the other thing is, and somebody said, which I think is fair, and you know, she's a young white woman, right? Now she is a member of the LGBT, Q2S community, but the other side of that, this has been happening to Black and brown people with not just ICE for a long time, right? Like the other side of that, we're recognizing it more, I think, because we could see ourselves in her shoes, right? And that's something for all of us to consider. But the other side of it is like, let's think about, we're living in this time where it feels like you need to remind people to care about other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there's the othering is something that I think about a lot, because that is, like you mentioned, how Facebook is trying to, set us against each other.
Yeah.
And of course, social media loves nothing more than to influence the algorithms by getting us all outraged.
Yeah.
That creates lots of activity and lots of passion and all that. But in fact, when we focus on what our similarities are as opposed to what our differences are, that changes everything and allows us to then possibly see someone else as just another person like us.
Yeah.
And maybe we should hear them out. Maybe we should think about them. And you're absolutely right. Black and brown people have been dealing with this forever. Women have been dealing with this forever.
Yeah.
Black and brown women have been suffering the worst, of course.
Well, and think about if you're a Black or brown woman who's a member of the LGBTQ.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like it's like there's all of this stuff that complicates it. And I found it interesting because had she been a heterosexual white woman, right? They wouldn't have mentioned her sexuality, right? It wouldn't have come out. But this is so they're trying to again other her and do all of the things, but also like looking at it and again sort of taking the fatigue and the fear and the outrage and the overwhelm of it all. And I think it trickles everywhere. This is a huge global tragedy.
Yes.
Now this may change a lot of things, right? I haven't seen today yet, but there are supposed to be protests all over the US. I haven't seen that. But bring it down to a very, very basic little community, no guns involved level.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like and that's part of it too, is what the hell are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like what's we were at a meeting, and I don't want to, give up sort of privacy or confidentiality, but it was a meeting where, it was about a community and community rules and stuff like that. And some of the people speaking, it was just like, oh my God, you realize there's a whole bunch of other people in this community and not you? and that was like, it's not surprising, but it's always shocking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I have a little sort of game I play with myself that's maybe somewhat related to this. And I've used these words with my husband, the good roommate idea, right? It's like, yes, absolutely. We're partners for life. Love you, blah, blah, committed. We have our divisions of labor that seem to work. But for myself, I will say things like, before I go to bed, I'm going to refill the paper towel dispenser, because when I get up in the morning and it's empty, I won't like that. So future Roxanne will
appreciate that.
But also maybe future Ray gets up first. He always gets up first, and it would be better for him if there was that. So I think, okay, so that's a good roommate thing. That's just if I were him getting up, I would look at the empty paper towel roll and go, I haven't had my coffee yet, and now I have to go into the garage and get a paper towel, and it's cold. And it's such a tiny, tiny little thing, but it's that little tiny bit of grit that you can make your life smooth or you can have it gritty. And that's kind of, to me, that's like ground zero of all of this stuff. That's like you build on that. And if you don't ever think about what works for somebody else, even for yourself, it's that love others like you love yourself, that would be good for me. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean it's good for somebody else, but you can start thinking about that.
Right. Well, that's just, and you make it, and maybe they don't even notice, but the thing is, you made it easier. Like it doesn't always have to be the big grateful, right? Although
Totally.
it's nice to acknowledge. Like we had, like an example was we were at the forest where we take our dogs, right? And this fellow got out of his car and his dog was yanking him, and you could tell he was a bit kerfuffled and stuff, and he looked a little bit cranky, right? And it's been rainy weather and it's all the things, and he kept going to the things where they keep the poop bags,
Yep.
right? And they were empty. So I said, "Would you like a couple of poop bags?" And the relief on his face, right? So instead of me interpreting why he was, maybe because I was like, oh, maybe he's just an asshole, right? But because he didn't say hi or anything, but I think he was worried, like, I got my dog here and now I don't have a poop bag, right? So we said it, and the relief. So we gave him, and he said, "I just need one." It's like, it's okay, take two,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just in case. And the relief on his face. But you know what? That took nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
Right?
And it could be something that he wasn't thinking about, hadn't thought about it. It's such a small thing for you. He probably left the house in a hurry.
Well, he had to drive wherever from. He had to drive there,
Yeah.
right? And it's crappy weather. The dog clearly wants to go, right? Like
Dogs
out
been
on
driving him
the
crazy
run.
in the
Yeah,
house. We all
right? Like
that's it. Mine's not driving me crazy right now, but that just
no, Chalupa's like somewhere beside me somewhere. If you can you see him? I don't know if you can see him. You can see the top of his
Oh, I
head.
can see his head. There we go.
Oh, there he goes. But that's like, and it was just like, it was one of those, and that's like one little step forward of, instead of assuming he's just a jerk, it was like, maybe he's I understand that, those movements, right? Where it's like, oh God, I'm gonna have to pick it up with my hands because I'm not leaving it, right? But it's like, it's just like, good societies are built on care. And to go back to what's going on in the States, they're not built on dominance. That's not a good society, right?
No, that's not a good. That's a whole different,
Yeah.
mindset, a whole different way of thinking, and it is. I mean, I've been reading stuff too that shows the historical groundwork that we've already been through this. The world has already been through cycles of this,
Yeah.
and we know what it leads to.
Yeah.
I'm no geopolitical expert, so I'm not going to use any language here about that. But it's like, we came to something really great by the time we got, and also, I don't know that democracy is necessarily working as we have it right now.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily the right way, to go about things. I always come back to the Poisonwood Bible, right? Like where they talk about, how is it that 51 versus 49, 51 wins and 49 doesn't? How is that right? That's what our democracy is. Instead, the goal should be everybody finally talks to each other and everybody figures out what's best, and then everybody is happy, or at least happy enough.
Well, and that, like, it goes back to the theory of it, right? Is the theory of democracy before becoming a troublemaker or the opposition, or it became this lucrative career. Right? The theory of democracy is about public servants and doing what's right right for as many people as possible.
Okay.
And now it's like, people say things because they have an election coming up,
Right.
right? They're not gonna, the right is never going to vote for anything the left does, because that would look bad on their record when they go to their rabid base. And it's like, so what happened to this is good for the country, right? Like this is good for all of us, because politicians these days, not all of them, there are some good ones, will bite off their nose to spite their face, because that's a liberal, left-leaning, Democrat thing. I can't vote for that because it's become a battle as opposed to a collaboration and a compromise. And I think when we were talking about the community thing, I think that's kind of it. Everybody was like, well, I want this. And it was like, I really liked it when the facilitator said, so do you think about what would work for everybody around you? Right? And it was like, and we talked about it. Common sense, right? Think about others, maybe, because maybe when something comes up that you don't like, they'll think about you.
Well, and I really liked when the opportunity was presented for some of the people who were largely presenting problems without presenting solutions with them. They were given the opportunity to be part of the solution.
Contribute, yeah.
And they turned it down.
Yeah. because that's a role now, right? The agitator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there should be agitators, right? I think people should come in and they should say, this isn't working. But we always have a rule, even at our little company and in our personal lives, don't come to me with a problem unless you can say, so here's what I've been thinking. Or if you don't have a solution, I went through this and this and this, and I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But don't come saying, you did this, I want this.
Yes.
Right? And that kind of goes back to, like, and let's be honest, as soon as you hear somebody talk like that, what runs through my mind is like, you're a shithead. I don't want to sit beside you. I don't want to have a glass of wine or a beer with you. I don't want anything to do with you.
Well, and what it triggers is a sense of defensiveness, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you've come at me with this thing. My guard's going to go up now, and I'm going to now come at you with walls up, and we're going to have a battle. So now we're very clearly us and them. So othering again, right? As opposed to, we're all on the same side here. We all want the same thing.
We want to find the solution. So it's really funny because I was rewriting our about page a bit today for the website, because I think we need to update it a bit. And one of the things I put in was that, I tend to go off on the rant and what the fuck and how the hell is it? Why? And you're the diplomat and you just did it. Because I was just like, because that's my initial reaction is very visceral, where it's like, you're a shithead, I want nothing. Like, it's very black and white for me when I see somebody doing that. And I think maybe because I used to think there's always good in somebody, and I found that in some people there is not.
See, I still cling to that belief. And I'm
glad you clarified that, because I feel like we're all clinging to some of those parts right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I know cognitively that's probably not true. And I do a lot of comparisons with, people and dogs. And when I look at dog training or, dog rescue or any of that stuff, like, their previous life, the stuff that molded them makes a difference. Yeah. But there are some dogs that can't be rehabilitated. Whatever damage happened, it's going to result in them being dangerous all the time, or unpredictable, or there's certain things that can't be rehabbed. So then is that the same with people? And then what do we do with those people?
Right. And there are some, like, I have seen dogs that came from good breeders, right, and good families, and that dog was just vicious, right? Very rare, I have to say, that it's been that. But there are some dogs, like I used to ask my uncle who was a vet. He's passed away now, but I used to ask him, it's like, can animals be sociopaths? Like could they just like it? And he'd be like, well, we've never gone that deep. He said, but in my experience, like sometimes there are just dogs that are mean, right? And it's got no reason.
Yeah. I was reading something the other day about sociopaths and psychopaths. What we're looking at is the inability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, the inability to feel empathy, or really to feel a lot of emotions, right?
Yeah.
But those people,
or any emotions that aren't about you.
This is what the podcaster said. We need those people to be our surgeons, our lawyers, our politicians, big time politicians.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they don't have a place. Sociopaths, I don't know so much about that, but because psychopaths can learn how to function.
Right.
Act as if they feel the things, right? And that's fine, as long as you act in a way that works out. Some people are more in touch with their emotions than others. There's a wide gradient there of how that works.
Yep. So I just looked it up, and sociopaths are more erratic, have less control, like they're and then psychopaths are they can mimic human behavior, right? Yeah. Empathy and all that stuff. Like, and that's just it. But I was for a very long time, a little obsessed with that personality type. And I think it comes from watching too many Datelines or, that kind of thing.
Dexter.
But there's a, I'm pretty sure it was a UBC professor, and I'll get the name of the book to put the link in it. Okay. And it gave you, whatever it is, a 20-point checklist of if somebody is a sociopath or a psychopath. And it's really good. I still have the book. Like, it's one of the very few hardcover books I have, because I've got them all on my Kindle now because small houses.
Yeah.
But I'll have to find it. But it was this checklist was like, and one of the things, if I remember correctly, that he said in his book is like, they're CEOs, right? They're often police officers, and you have to have a balance of both in any force, right? But they're also used car salesmen.
Yep.
Which I would take to car salesmen, and like anybody who's got to sell you something for them to make money.
Yep.
Right. Where they get rid of they can't care it's the wrong thing for you.
Nope.
Right. Like they just, that is, you're not going to succeed in that job.
A few years back, before we moved to Creekside, we were looking for quite a long time to figure out where we were going to move, where our next place was going to be. And we had an acquaintance who was a realtor at the time, Jan, and she would tell us, we're like, okay, so we want space for our dogs. We want, what we want, us a little bit. She showed us one house, and I remember being astounded because she looked at it, had no yard, had no fence, overlooked a main street, had no privacy. And she's like, oh, I can absolutely see you guys in here. This would be perfect for you. And I'm like, okay, so now I don't trust you one tiny little bit. Because this is nothing. None of these things are right for us. Yeah. But you could convince me if I was gullible enough, and I'm very willing to try and see both sides.
You're really good at that.
Well, yeah, to the point of gullibility sometimes. I'm like, oh wait, maybe this is the best idea. I mean, it seems bad, but wait a second, let me consider it.
It's I've led you down the garden path for the last 5 years. Right?
It is. So it has sometimes worked out for me, but
right. But that's just it, right? And it goes back to sort of the respect for expertise, right? Like I think we should question everything. We should question our politicians. We should question our leaders. I think it's really good for us to say, what's behind that? And I know from communications, always question who put out a survey and what the results are. What's the money trail? Who benefits from this and who paid for it? But the other side of that is, but when they prove themselves to you, allow trust. It's all. So we used to, when I was at McLean's, there were researchers, and researchers are brilliant because they question everything. You write an article, a researcher gets a hold of it, and oh my God, you better be accurate in all of it. And down to it might be, they're fact checking an article. They wouldn't fact check your quotes, but what they would say to you. So let's say I'm writing an article about you, and it would be like, so how many pairs of red socks do you own? If it was relevant to the story, right? Yeah. And how many pairs? They wouldn't say, do you have 5 pairs of red socks? How many pairs of red socks? And they would go through and they would interview, they would re-interview basically, or fact check with people that were there. They would fact check with politicians. They would go in. If we didn't have 3 sources of something that we couldn't get fact check, we couldn't use that, right? Sure. McLean's had very high standards. Yeah. But that's where I learned about critical thinking, right? Where I saw it come into practical use, right? Because our job was to tell the truth to people. Whatever our personal opinions were, it was to tell the truth, right? And never to editorialize at McLean's. Yeah. But the other side of it is you should question everything. And that's not how I was raised. It was raised, you don't talk back to doctors. You don't talk back. We didn't have priests. We had ministers. You don't talk back, right? You don't talk back to authority. Yeah. And now it would be like, and again, I feel like I keep going back to Ms. Good, but it was like, of course you freaking question authority. Like, of course, if a, like we've also been told, if a cop pulls you over on a dark highway, like on a dark road in the night, do not slow down. Right? Because A, could be a fake cop, B, could be a bad cop. And also if it's a real cop, let him give you the freaking ticket for evading arrest and explain yourself to the judge. Right? Like the other side is absolutely, and everybody should be questioning authority now. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But in America and the US right now, I don't want to say America because America thinks they own all of North America. Yeah. But in the US right now, questioning authority gets you shot in the face.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's what happens.
But I think it is. But the flip side to that, and it kind of goes back to the joy is resistance, is like I had to get away from what happened this week a little bit. And honestly, I got up and usually I put on the news first thing in the morning. I've been putting on reruns of The Big Bang Theory because I can't take the morning. I get up and I look quick to see who's alive and who's dead. Yeah. And then I turn it off because it was just like, and I think it's okay. It goes back to our permission slip, right? Is community is how joy survives, and community and taking care of each other is how democracy and society survives,
And
right?
you can't take care of anyone else until you've taken care of yourself.
No, but that's exactly, and also it's like, caring for others isn't weakness, it's infrastructure. Like if we stop caring for each other, what were all the books we read? Lord of the Flies, right?
Oh,
Animal Farm, right? I mean, freaking, right? Also, watch reality shows like Survivor, right? As soon as they turn on each other, it goes to hell, right? And it's like, so I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand what being a shithead gets you.
Yeah, there's short-term gains to being a shithead for sure. And it depends a little bit, I think, maybe where you are, like what pond you find yourself in, right? Or what, little pond or big pond. But I think the short-term gains are that if you want a thing and someone's standing in your way and you nudge them out of the way like that, or fall to the ground, shove them, shoot them, whatever, you get the thing you want and they are not an obstacle anymore. That's the short-term gain for you. So there is absolutely short-term gains, right? You cheat on your taxes. Yeah, you've got more money in the bank this year, maybe. But eventually it's going to come back on you.
It's going to.
Eventually karma comes around.
But so what's the difference between and I can only, I mean, I could project that you're going to agree with this but like, I can't do any of that because, and it's not just that I'm afraid I'm going to get caught. I'm just like, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's just wrong. It's like, if somebody gave me too much money back at the bank, I'd say, you gave me too much money. Or if the ATM gave me too much money, I'd go in and say, I got too much money. This is because I mean, it's like, and it's not like I'm waiting for the universe or God or goddess or whoever to come and hit me. It's just like, well, this isn't right.
See, you don't have enough psychopath in you. I can see that right now. Because
the way you're looking is scaring me right now. It's like, well, I guess I spent 5 years recruiting her for nothing.
I every now and then catch myself being like, okay, I know what's right to do here, but I also see that the greater system is flawed or something. Like I can justify, hey, I'm a writer. I can motivate anything. I can justify anything. That every now and then I see could be a problem in the brain that is Roxanne. So
I did an entire TED talk about what do you do when nobody's watching, and we'll have to tag it, even though I'm not my best physical self in those
it's a good one.
It is a good one, but we will tag it. But it's also like it's like, and I think, for all the things you can say about your parents, this is what got instilled in me. It's like, do the right thing, right? And don't do the right thing because you're afraid God's going to get you, right? Do the right thing because it's the right thing. And so I'm agnostic, I guess. I believe in something. I don't believe in organized religion's God. So it's not like I'm waiting for fire and brimstone to come down on me to do the right thing. It's just like, well, if we all do the wrong thing, it's going to be a hellscape.
Yeah.
Right?
Welcome.
But so here's something I have. So I think one of the things I've been mulling this over, I like best about myself. It's also the thing that irritates me the most about myself is that I give a shit.
Yep. That is a tough way to live.
Right? But I think for permission slips, I think I'd like to say you're allowed to give a shit. You're also allowed to pull back. And you can't do everything for everybody. But I think you're allowed, like, care when it costs you convenience, right? I think you speak up even when your voice shakes. I think be kind without being naive. I think that's an important one, right? Because I've had the whole people come up to me in the grocery store say they need milk for their baby, and you give them $10 and you pretty much know it's not for milk for their baby. But what if it is?
Yeah.
What if this one time it is, right?
Yeah.
Like the other thing, and you can set boundaries and still care. And I've been thinking about that a lot, and I've done better setting some boundaries because I can't be there for everybody because it's these days it's really hard. But what you can do is help people find their resources.
You are generous to a fault. I will say. You take on so much. It is sometimes irritating. I watch you and I'm like, can you just knock it off and be a little selfish for once? Well, not when I'm there, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, that's just not how it works. But I also think, like, you can, if some real life examples, like I have a friend who is a member of our happy hour community, and yesterday she was asking me about making sure she saw the right podcast episode from this week, and so we were talking, and I asked her how she was, and she gave me this like 4 paragraphs of hard things, right? And she didn't want anything, she just needed somebody to listen, right?
Yeah.
And so absolutely I listened, and then it was like, what can I do to help? Because it was like, I'm far away, but what could I do? And just being able to vent, was the thing. But I also checked in with her this morning. That took 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And it just makes people feel seen, right? Which is, and also it would have nagged me all day, because I would like somebody to check in on me, right? Like let's think about what you said, right? Yeah. Do unto others, right, as you would have them, right? It's like that's, and and it's like, small acts of just kindness, of like, for the people that showed up when we couldn't get online, I'm making a little something. It's just a little thing, right? Also, it's good for me, right? It's therapy. It's like I get to make something. I get to have the fun art time, but I also get to have a little bit of a purpose that gives me happiness, right? And it's a good balance. But that's something where it's like, hey, thank you for showing up for us. And we poop the bed. I appear to be having a poop thing for this podcast, right? But like just a little stuff, like giving that guy doggy poo bags, see more poo.
Yep.
Right? Yep. But like, it's like you do, like you bake bread and you bring us over bread, because I can't bake bread.
You can bake bread.
I can't bake.
But it's like the thing that you do that is, everyone's got a thing that they're good at. It's not hard to share the good things. It's not, but it does feel like a risk sometimes. See, you have kind of breached that, maybe because you've always done this, but like for me, I feel this sense of, this is what I fight with is, oh, well, what if they, like use the bread example. Well, maybe they have celiac in their house. Maybe they don't eat bread. Half the people I know don't eat bread right now. I'm like, can I give you some bread? Oh, no, I don't eat bread. I'm like, well, sucks to be you then. But, or offering, do you want to come for dinner? Oh, then maybe what I make won't be good enough for them, or it won't be fancy, or it won't taste good, or they're allergic to it, and I kill them.
Okay, just for the record, I think about all that.
Do you? And you still do it.
I drink, Roxanne.
I don't drink enough, apparently. If I've learned anything from you over the years, it's I don't drink enough.
It's a glass of wine helps. But the other side to that is, what if you don't? What if you don't what? If you don't do the thing, or if you don't
invite
them, you don't do the thing, you don't ask, you don't offer, then you're missing out on what could be something magical, right?
Yeah.
Like an exchange that's beautiful, and it doesn't, although there should be back and forth and there should be reciprocity, but that's not why you do it. However, if somebody just keeps taking, right, then it's kind of like, okay, this doesn't feel good either, right? Like there's a balance about it, but it's also like lots of stuff you just do because in the moment you feel like doing it, right? Like you feel like, oh, I could do this and make this make it. My mom used to do stuff like this, and it was like, I'm sure deep down somewhere there's this need to be liked, or to do or to be seen, or whatever it is.
It's not that deep down, honey.
But on the other side of it, it's like just in the moment you can make somebody happy.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just it. Well, mine gets deeper and deeper every day when I see people being shitheads. But I have a shithead test.
Oh.
And
I'm
we
listening.
will so just a simple filter that we could all use before you act or post or vote or speak. Does this action I'm doing harm someone else? Does this help anyone besides me? Would I be okay if this was done to me? Am I punching up or punching down? Any of these, you answer them. And it's really funny because there was a Big Bang Theory, which I know is, seems really weird, like it's my Poisonwood Bible, because it's very
I was just going to say that.
but it's like there was a Big Bang Theory, and Sheldon, one of the main characters, was worried that they didn't want his best friend to get a promotion at work because he was worried that it wasn't that he thought he wasn't at that spot yet, but that maybe he was jealous. And Sheldon's girlfriend Amy says to him, so say the thing you want to say to him, and then in your head say, and that'll show you. So it's a little bit like, when somebody does something and you think, so let's say somebody, I don't know, they forget to include you in something, right? And so then you think, well, I'm going to have a party and I'm not going to invite them. That'll show you. You know what I mean?
Ooh, so is you're it saying because it reveals your motivation?
Yes, your purpose in doing it, right? Okay. So is it a shithead purpose? Because maybe it's like, well, I'm going to have a party, and maybe I didn't realize that person's really, they're not that into me, so I'm not going to include them. And you think it that, and then it's like add, and that'll show them at the end of it and see, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of those, and I think if you ask those questions, and I'm gonna do a blog.
Those are good.
But just to be like, is this self-serving?
So yeah, let's talk about punching up, punching down. Let's just get a little clarity there. So the way I understand that is, if you're punching up, you're hitting at someone who has more power than you, or punching down is like kicking somebody when
kicking the dog,
down.
Man. Yeah, that's just it. So for example, the ice guy that shot this young woman in the face.
Young unarmed woman.
And yes, he was punching down. He had a freaking gun and a uniform.
Yep.
Right? So I mean, punching up would be if I spoke truth to power to a politician, right? Yes. Or I walked in and said, "You're not doing your job, and here's all the things why." And by the way, I've sent all this information to the, I don't know what DA prosecutor, I think they're crown prosecutors here. It's like, you're doing this, and this is what I've done with it, right? That's punching up. They have way more power than me.
Yes. So right? that's an action of bravery, of courage, of accountability. Yes, you're asking accountability of them. The other direction is an act of cowardice, it sounds like.
And cruelty.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. If somebody isn't, like, there are people that I'm trying to find that sometimes act like shitheads. And I know that if I went at them verbally, I could break their spirit.
Right.
I am not going to do that. What I am going to do is remove myself from their blast radius, right? Yeah. Because maybe they're being a shithead for reasons I have not made. That there's psychological trauma. Yeah. There's all this other stuff, right? And it's like, I know that I could hurt them with my words, and I won't do that.
Yeah. That's it. I like that. I'm thinking back to my days as an HR manager, and how, if I had to discuss an issue with somebody, I had to be very careful. I don't know I don't know how well I managed that balance, but be very careful, because I'm aware I'm in a position of power, right? Yeah. I could say, this is no longer working. You will get your 2 weeks severance, or whatever, right? I could fire them. And that doesn't mean that you tolerate bad behavior.
Yeah.
Just that you're aware. You have to be aware. You can't, for example, make jokes about firing somebody when you're in that position. You can't just say, "Oh, haha, let's go have a beer. If I don't like the beer you pick, maybe I'll just fire you." No, you can't do that.
That's right. But that's just it. And finding a way to, when it's not about morals and values and other people's rights, is finding a way. Perhaps there's somebody who has behaviors that you don't like. Well, find a way without being like, do you really have to do that? Right? Instead, it's like, hey, let's go look at this thing, and then maybe from actions they learn from your modeling the behavior. And we do that, well, at least I try to do it, although who knows how good I am with children all the time, right?
Yes.
Right? Like, I try really hard if I see a child who's and perhaps they were never taught please and thank you. And the first few times I'll be like, oh, could you please hand me that? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then after it might be, hey, you know what we do in this house? We say please and thank you. Right. And I do it gently instead of like, what, nobody ever teach you anything?
Yes, exactly.
Right? Like there's ways to do it. And you know what, but it also comes down to, what I'm going to roll my eyes inside my head at people who come and say, I don't drink coffee. But I'd never say, well, you're an idiot. Because you know what? That's also, it's none of my business unless, and I should hope I have tea.
Totally.
Right. But it's one of those where it's like, let's look at it. Is your intent to make someone feel bad? Is your intent to make sure you get what you want at their expense? And sometimes you need to, right? Like sometimes it's you have to look after yourself. And it might be, we have a lovely woman next door who wants us to chop some of our like hedges down because she doesn't get enough sunlight. And it's like, no, because the hedges are our privacy. We will do as much as we can, but we're not going to do that at our expense, but we will do our best to find somewhere a compromise, because I want people to have sunshine. I like sunshine.
Yeah.
Right. But it's when the people that are just here, I matter. I'm the best. I'm this. I'm I. Right.
One of the key ingredients in writing a scene in fiction is knowing the GMC, goal, motivation, and conflict. Right.
Yeah.
You have to know what the goal of the scene is, as well as the goal of each character in the scene.
Right.
Until you know what their goal is, you don't know how to build in whatever the conflict's going to be. But in order to make the goal worthwhile, you have to know the motivation. You have to know why do they want the thing that they want? Because it's one thing to say, I need this thing, give me this thing, give me this seat on the bus, give me this seat on the bus right now. And it could be that they are about to have a seizure and they know that.
Yeah.
They can't convey that to you.
Right.
So if you knew what the motivation was, there probably would be no conflict. You would say, absolutely, here's my seat. But maybe so that's, I guess, where, maybe that's something that drew me to writing, is that I'm always wondering, like, what is the why? What is the why here?
Yeah.
And sometimes the why doesn't matter. The behavior is so abominable that doesn't really matter what the why is. It's still a big screw up, needs to be addressed.
No, and that's a good point. And I think trying to be compassionate when dealing with a perceived shithead, right, doesn't always like the people I was talking about that I know I could cause them emotional anguish. Yeah. But it's like immediately you understand that there's something more going on with these people, right? Yes. It's when I see it's the privileged, entitled, that leads me to make assumptions, right? Like, apparently, and Prince Andrew is like really wrinkled, and he's kind of been, ostracized from all the things because Jeffrey Epstein, right? But now apparently, and I still find this a whole other episode curious. Apparently his only friends now are his teddy bear collection that he has, which is like weird, right? And if you watch, there was a reenactment of the interview he did with a journalist about Epstein. If you watch that, they've got scenes in there where he freaks out on servants about how his teddy bears are wrong, right? In the wrong place. But anyway, it's like he went to some kind of boarding school near where my family had a cottage, and all through the town there were rumors. It's like, if he's in the bar, stay away. He's entitled, he's arrogant, he's an asshole. I'm sure there was more to it. I don't think I wasn't quite bar age at that, but we all knew it.
Wow.
Right. And so it's like that entitled, so it's a little bit of, who raised you? Right? Like, how did somebody not say that's not the way to act? And yet, it's just like, it's one of those where it's like, some people, I think they're just shitheads they're just shitheads through and through. And whether it's on purpose or not on purpose, their behavior is so disgusting that you won't have any empathy or sympathy for them.
Yeah.
Right? Because it doesn't take much just to be a little kind. Right? And good friends, everybody has a day where they're being a jerk, right? Everybody's got those days. And good friends go, what? right?
You're
What are
acting
you
out of
doing?
character. You're acting out of character.
See, you're being so diplomatic. I'd say, why are you being a shithead today?
But they know that's not your default though. So they know
No.
then, because they know you,
Right.
that something else is going on.
Yeah.
It's not so that's where I think that's part of the responsibility that we have, is to know people enough to have that connection
Yeah.
with somebody else where you can say, look, I know I've used this. I've used this on my husband. He's used it on me. Like, hey, that's not cool what you just did.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? Because
But
I
right.
don't want to see this. I don't want to see
Yeah.
this thing that you just did. Nope, not good.
Yeah.
So what's happening with you?
Right. No, and I think that's good. And when you have that relationship, because everybody has a bad day where they might snap, or they do something that is out of character. And diplomatic you, because I'd just be like, "What's up your ass?" Right?
I mean, you can use whatever language you want.
But diplomatic is always better, especially if somebody's having a tough time of it, right? But so there's a lesson I'm going to work
okay, but
on.
there's learned behavior for me too, because in my world, questioning authority was not really something that I was encouraged to learn, nor was speaking out against men. Right. So to question a man, even my husband, who I love and I know loves me, even for me, that was a lesson that was hard to learn. And now, with very little estrogen in my body anymore, all bets are off and it's all great. And I can say, hello, love of my life, you're being an asshole. Why?
Right. But see, the why is what matters, right?
Yeah.
And I think that goes to longer, deeper relationships. But it also goes to, because there have been people that they're just consistently assholes, right?
Yeah.
And so my question now to myself at this age is, why are they still around?
Right.
Like, it's one of those where you have to take your response. So is it because you've known them for 40 years?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you work with them? Because work is work and you need to be professional, but you don't have to take crap either, right? Nope. And if you are more junior, there are ways through HR around it. But the other way I've often learned is remove yourself. Right. And not necessarily from the job, because not everybody can do that. That's privilege talking. But the other side of that is try to minimize your engagement with them. If you have to be in the room with somebody, right? That somebody who's a shithead. In honor of Reneé, Nicole, Good, let's all decide to do something good this week. Right? Just reach out and be kind to somebody, and be a part of the anti-shithead team, right? And just reach out and show support and show kindness and proactively just do something good for somebody. Because there is never going to be a good reason for her death, but at least we can carry her spirit forward, because she was out there supporting her community, right? The people that ICE were coming after, and communities built by people who show up. And let's remember, joy is resistance, care is revolutionary. I wrote these down. Community is everything. And let's just make the shitheads see that there's more of us than there are of them. But yes, and none of you are alone. When you're having a hard time, come to us and we'll talk. We'll be there, right? Right? And it's okay to come and like put it all out there, because we do care, and we're going to build a community that cares. And sometimes you just have to tell somebody who's not a part of the major players in your life, you just need to get it out. Right? Okay, so what's your permission slip this week, Roxanne?
Ooh, let's start with you first.
Talk about deflection. So I bought oyster shells, and I'm going to paint them.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes, I'll put some pictures up, and there's this one woman who really beautifully paints them. Mine's going to be a bit more abstract, but they make little magnolia flowers out of them, and they put little jewels on them. Ooh. And I'll put up some photos on the.
That sounds fun.
On that, so I'm going to try to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
I'm going to try again, because instead of doing a little painting this week, I continued work on my puzzle, and my puzzle is of the town of Oia on Santorini in Greece,
Right.
which is a callback to our vacation that we
Right.
took together.
Yes.
But I have no, and I consider that a pretty big permission because
Yeah.
I feel guilty when I work on it, when I should be doing something else.
Like packing up your house because you're moving?
Yeah, there's that. There's that. Yeah. So either my puzzle or my painting, that's my permission slip for a while.
That's pretty good. And what are you grateful for?
I am grateful, speaking of our vacation, of this little package of cacio e pepe seasoning that I'm going to use in our supper tonight. So,
Oh, nice. So what are you making?
well, I'm going to make pasta and then just throw that in the frying pan with a little oil,
Oh, that's awesome.
little lemon juice. And
It's really good.
friggin' delicious. It's so simple.
I know. We're going to have to find out where to buy them here, or else we'll go back.
Or we'll go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for?
You know what? I'm grateful, and I'm gonna sort of bookend it with Reneé Good. Is I am grateful for the people who are showing up for their neighbors at great risk to themselves, clearly.
Yeah.
But you know what? The people of Minnesota are still showing up. In fact, they're showing up more, and they're showing up across the U.S. and they're really standing up to all of this, and they are honoring her in a way that I don't think that administration realized would happen.
Yeah.
Right? Because it has definitely lit a fire, and I think I am just grateful that it didn't scare people off. It empowered
Unfortunately,
them,
that's
right?
often what it takes is people to become martyrs. It's so tragic that
It
what
is
takes,
tragic.
But that if nothing else, it brings meaning to the loss, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
The meaningless loss.
So this is a more serious one than we've had, right, for a while. But I know for me, I couldn't have just come on and gone to the lighter stuff as much as I think, we'll shift a little bit for the next one that we're about to tape. But it was like, I think we had to talk about this because this is really big stuff, and at least in my lifetime, I don't have any memory of something like this going on so close to home.
Yeah.
But you guys have a good weekend. Please go out and do the good things, and maybe, and this is hard for me to say, is maybe we can find some compassion for the shitheads, and maybe we could bring them over to Team Good Acts, right? I'll think about that one.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, here's to not being shitheads this week.
There we go. Yay.
What do we want more of, Ruth?
We want more happy hours, Roxanne. What do we want less of?
We want less bullshit heads.
There you go. That's good. That was pretty good. How long have you been thinking about that?
0 minutes. 0 seconds.
Okay. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.